This is my book, Handlettering for Beginners, and it turns 3 on February 2nd, 2024. I know there's a couple of you that have a birthday on February 2nd, so happy birthday to you. It's in paperback and hardback. It was in paperback at Five Below, the store. The spiral bound version is on Amazon, among other places, and I'm sure you can imagine on Amazon the kind of reviews. There's some good ones and there's some bad ones. And so in this video, I am going to hand letter some Amazon reviews for my book. And I am splitting my journal page into these little sections. I'm going to do 10 positive reviews and 3 critical reviews. So let's get into it. This first one was a much longer review, and I just took this sentence. I'm new to lettering, and this book is like a Bible for beginners. Thank you so much for this very kind review. By the way, I am using my Monami Plus Pen 3000. These are great pens to be able to do small lettering, and also they can be a fine liner as well. So that's why I chose to do these pens for this page, since I'm doing some kind of longer reviews. All right, the next review says, use this book all the time. It's great. Short and simple and sweet. And this next one says, I reach for this book all the time. This book has everything I could ask for out of a hand lettering book. I own like 5 or 6, and this is my favorite. If I could only keep one, this one sparks the most joy. And this one was a little bit longer too, and I just shortened it to this. And I just love that somebody has joy from my book, because that was the whole goal from the very start, that hand lettering could bring joy to somebody. And the fact that it is still bringing joy 3 years later is just amazing. So thank you for these reviews. It really helps others to know if this is a good book or not. This next one says, if you want to learn hand lettering, you have to get it. I'm loving it. So in the last 3 years, a lot has changed. I'm a mom of 2 kids. My time spent doing my business is a lot less than it was before. And so sometimes I just feel like I'm in the throes of motherhood. And then I read these reviews and I realize that my lessons and the things that I love about hand lettering is still being spread around. So I'm really grateful to be able to share this book with you. I put so much of my heart into this book. This next review says, this book is written with easy, simple instructions, beautifully designed, beautiful color pages. I was excited to sit down and go through the book. I really enjoyed it. And the thing about this book is that it would be nothing without you buying it and sharing it with your friends and reviewing it and telling people about it and watching my videos and sharing it with people on Instagram. So thank you so much. This next one says, I ordered this book specifically because of the consistent reviews. Thank you. I am in love with this book, and if you have the tiniest desire to write, draw fancy letters, you should absolutely get this book. This next one says, Sarah did an amazing job describing the writing methods in a clear and concise way, and she includes exercises in all styles, in different pen sizes. Perfect book. I love it. This one says, I didn't purchase this book right away because I didn't believe I needed one more calligraphy book, but everything is so good. This book inspires me to keep practicing. So glad I purchased. This one was a little bit longer too. I shortened it down, and I loved that because there are so many calligraphy books out there and you can learn so much from each of them. It's a good thing that there are so many books out there because you can learn different skills and techniques from different people, and you can find your own technique through learning from a bunch of different people's styles. And this next one says, love this book. It is so nice to flip through pages that are bright, colorful, and very helpful in learning hand lettering. I highly recommend this book. And I like that a lot of the reviews talk about how colorful the book is, because when my editor originally reached out to me, one reason that he chose me is because I had my blog and my Instagram and YouTube filled with color, and they really wanted a hand lettering book that was filled with color. And so I was the perfect fit for that. And one of my favorite parts about the book, I love that there's great hand lettering techniques, but my favorite thing that I came up with is the chapter heading pages where I did a rainbow lineup of pens because that is something that I love so much, lining up pens in rainbow order. If you've seen my other YouTube videos, you know that I just love that. And so I was able to put that into the book in all of these different pages, and I used all different pens for each chapter heading, and it was so much fun. And it's just this little tiny detail that doesn't make you a better hand letterer having that detail, but it's something that just can bring you a little bit of joy as you are learning hand lettering. And that is the whole point of hand lettering, that it brings so much joy in just the little details that are meaningful and special to you. And this next review says, this book will teach you tons. I've learned so much from it. It has all the right kind of info to help someone just starting out. Definitely recommend. So in this book, I put in everything that I was teaching at my in-person workshops. So it has all of the beginning basics, and then there's also projects at the end to do different lettering styles and different projects as you're creating more beyond just the basics. But I really wanted to make sure that it has all the little details that an absolute beginner needs to know. And next we have the critical reviews. So this first one says, this book is beautiful. However, it doesn't come with anything else you need, like pens or tracing paper. And I agree, it would definitely be better if you could just buy the book and it came with everything you need. Honestly, I would love it if there was a thing where you could buy the book and all of my favorite pens in all of my favorite colors and all of my favorite papers, so you get to have all of it all at once. And I have no idea how to make that happen because that would be really big. This next review says, this book really lacks in actual lessons and is mostly just dotted lines to trace. And there are a lot of tracing pages. None of them are blank, but there are a lot of tracing pages to practice your lettering. In my opinion, I think there's a lot of lessons too, but different opinions. And this next one says, the production quality for this book was terrible. I'm talking about the paper the book is printed on. This is as cheap as it gets. Also, I was very disappointed with the script, very unattractive. And you know, the thing about this is that we all have different opinions on what styles look good and don't look good. And I would be curious to know which script this review was talking about, because there are several different font styles in the book. So I'm just curious which style they didn't like. And it's okay to not like every style. Hand lettering is about you. As for the paper that it talks about, I wanted to show you here, this paper quality is thick enough that it doesn't show through on the other side. The smoothness, it's not like a buttery soft smooth. It feels like the smoothness of my Archer and Olive journal. It's pretty smooth. It's not a buttery smooth. And also some books have that glossy pages, and it's definitely not that. Maybe that's what this person was expecting. This is how the book can be the price that it is. And if you're not writing directly in the book, then I think it's okay. Use some tracing paper on top. And as for the paperback, it feels pretty similar quality to the spiral bound for the paper. If you have my book and you have left me a review, I just want to say a huge thank you. It means so much to me. I am blown away by the support that my book has received in the past 3 years. If you haven't gotten my book yet, I will link below all the places where you can find it. And remember I talked about those pens that I did in the chapter headings? Well, I made a video about a story that I had to find just the right color of pen because I didn't have enough pens for one of the pages, and it was this big dramatic thing, and I shared it in this video right here if you want to go watch that. Thanks so much for being here. See you next time.